Hey ye.
All rise.
And he's watching the goddamn Jazz game. Look at him. Look at him.
Yes, I am.
This son of a bitch.
Where's your head?
I am.
If you had your headband on, you'd be cool, calm, and collective.
Honestly, if you were wearing what are they called, Ray?
Poshy.
If you were wearing a Poshy headband, I actually wouldn't have a problem with you watching the Jazz game because I think you could do two things at once. But just with that, with that good hat, I like the hat.
Brandon Bills.
My New Hampshire hat.
I don't think it gives you the power that the Poshy that gives us.
No.
No, I'll let you guys wear your girl-ass headbands.
Oh.
Ooh, not a beep.
Nice job, Billiam. Nice job.
2 for 3 on the beeps. 2 for 3 on saying anything and getting a beep. Not bad. Bill, you all right today? You feel a little salty?
Yeah, what's wrong, Bill?
You okay? Bad day at
good.
work?
Life.
Those just some personal stuff. You wanna lash out on us?
Nope.
You can lash out at us. It's okay. We can take it.
No, I'm good.
I can't. There's only so many episodes I can take this lashing out on. Today's not a good day.
I lash out at you guys all the fucking time. I did it on Sunday.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That just built up angst and frustration coming out right on your chin. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Good. This is what I do for that. Anyway.
Anywho's.
I like your jersey, Bill.
Yep. Jason Tatum, great game today.
Great game today. Okay. Welcome to the Simple Mind Sports Show. This is
hater.
What is this? This is Wednesday, August.
No, September
2nd, 2020.
Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Happy birthday to my daughter today. She's 3. Proceed.
Happy birthday, the best person of Raymond's family by default.
True.
Here we go. Bill.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch a little bit of the game?
Yeah, I watched the majority of it.
Nice.
Bill.
I just knew you were coming home. I mean, it was a 5:30 start. Like, how many
I
people are able to
listened
watch?
to it on the radio, so I didn't get home till a little after 6:30. So after halftime, and then I caught the rest of the game. I shut it off for a little bit because I was pissed off when they were down 12, but then I turned it back on at the start of the fourth just because I was done being angry at the Celtics for pissing away the third quarter.
We'll get to it. Ray, did you get a chance to watch?
I did, but I have another question for Bill. A follow-up question. Bill, did you have a chance to read the email today?
I did, yes. Bit late. I just read it like an hour ago because I was busy at work all day.
Hey, as long as you read it this time, that's all that matters, baby.
Excellent.
I love you, Billy.
Excellent.
I got all my notes right here ready to go.
Got the show notes. That's good. Show notes are appropriate. That's what I'm reading off right now. And the show notes that I sent to you today started off with Bruins. So that's how we're going to start. We're going to start shitty, and we're going to end okay. Or at least we're going to pack some okay in the middle, which would be the Celtics game that just ended as we record here Tuesday night. I'm fucking all over the place. I got to tell you, my days have been whacked out for about a week. But anyway, let's – Bruins are out. Bruins are done. They're gone. 3-2 loss in double fucking overtime. Wouldn't that be the case? Speaking of watching games, I know, Ray, actually, did you stay up? Did you make it?
Yes.
Somebody texted me at the end, and I just shut my phone off.
It's Connor.
Oh, it's fucking Connor, yeah. Fucking Connor. Bill, I know you didn't make it. You don't make it when they're winning in the third period.
No. Yesterday was
old ball.
Yesterday
Bill
was a bad day. I was really fucking tired and hungover after my escapade on Sunday. You know, it was the first time I drank in like a week.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, we understood that one.
Yeah, yesterday was very deadly.
Rough.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you save yourself the heartache because I did watch the whole fucking thing, the whole extravaganza. I'll say this. I am happy I guess, proud that the Bruins did not follow suit for most of the teams that exited these bubbles in the NHL and the NBA, where in a series where you're down 3-1 to probably the best team in the league, probably knowing you're not going to win this series, you didn't just show up, lay an egg, and lose 5-1 and say, fuck it, we're out of here anyway, let's just go home. They battled until the very, very end, and honestly showed us exactly what the Bruins are compared to the Lightning. They're just not as good. I looked up. I think it was overtime. It was 48-30 on shots on goal. Bruins. That's the goddamn series. That's the last two games at least. I mean, I think the Bruins outplayed them in terms of hustle and grit and desire. They gave it everything they honestly had, and it wasn't good enough. And that's the bottom line when it comes to the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning are just better. They're just better. But let's give before I pass it on to you guys, I want to give some recognition to Halak. I think Halak showed up. I think Halak played his balls off yesterday, last game, however you want to describe it as we release this. And I think a couple of the other guys, I think Marchand was there. I think he could have played a little bit better. I don't know. The young kids showed up. The young kids looked like they wanted to play. I think everybody wanted to extend the series, and it's just a little bit too bad that they weren't able to. Would have been nice just to see him one more game, because who knows what the team's going to look like down the line. We'll get to it in a bit. But Hockey Guy Ray, first impressions, last impressions. Do you have I asked you what's the biggest reason they lost this series. Do you have an opinion on that, or what's just your
I have three
overall outtake on the last game of the NHL season for the Boston Bruins?
I have three reasons why they lost this series. One, Halak. You can see why he's a 35-year-old backup goaltender, like Bill says. He's not a starting goaltender now and in his career. Two, the defense got dismantled. They got pushed around. They got bodied around. They got treated like a little brother to the big brother from Tampa Bay. And the last one, the perfection line is back on the milk carton. They were MIA the series. Didn't really do much, and it showed.
Do you know why they didn't do much? It's because of their only line that could fucking score. So who goes out there? Their best defensive effort against the front line. You don't have another line that could consistently score. I've been preaching it for fucking 3 months now. This is what happens. You scored 4 goals in the last 3 games, 5 goals in the last 3 games, because you can't fucking score outside of the front line. If you can't score on the fucking power play, you can't score goals. Charlie Coyle, MIA. David Krejci line, MIA. You even try to mix in Pastrnak in there, still MIA. You're playing the best team. Tampa can roll 4 lines and score goals. Bruins could lucky to roll 1. Their third line dominated the Bruins. Palat had, 5 goals in 5 games? He was their best player the whole series, besides Braden Point. Dude, that's the difference you see. You saw your best Bruins effort outside of Game 1, who you almost pissed Game 1 away, and you still could not do it. I get it. You went to double overtime, but you still could not do it. You're looking at a Tampa team that has the reigning Vezina Trophy, the reigning MVP, and 2 years ago they had the fucking Norris Trophy winner, and they're missing their all-around best player in Martin St. Louis. And you just saw a physical domination in 5 games. That's the difference between the Bruins team and the Lightning team. And I haven't even got to the defensive issues the Bruins had yet, because Tampa has 6 defensemen that are all better than every fucking Bruin on the team.
Okay, but Bill, what I think you're outlining here, and nobody talks about Martin St. Louis, but Stamkos is their captain and widely regarded as the best player.
That's what I meant. Stamkos. Sorry,
I was just saying St. Louis.
St. Louis. Sorry.
Yep, Stamkos. We knew what you were saying. But here's what I'll say: the top line didn't score in the Bruins, because they had to put on their best defensive effort. But I'll tell you what, they're not as good as the Tampa Bay top line. They're not as good as Braden Point, Palat, and Kucherov. Sorry, they're not. They might be better in their defensive end. I mean, Marchand and Bergeron might be better in their own end than these guys, but they're not as offensively skilled. They can't match that top line, and that's a fact. And I don't know if Cassidy was putting them up against that top line. They started them last game because they were trying to make a point. But most of that series, they did not start the Bergeron line against the point line.
They never do.
But last game, my point is here, Bill, is Tampa Bay is just fucking better. They're just better. We knew they were better going in, and they're just better. But I do agree with Totem Pole here. I think the Bruins defense let you down more than their offense. Like I know the big thing on the Bruins is they don't have secondary scoring, and their lines did not compete and did not. But you are going against the Vasilevsky, maybe winner in Vasilevsky, and the defense looked like fucking hot garbage. They let Hedman walk in on that game-winning goal. They let him walk in. They let him walk in a period before that, too, and he just missed it because Lock made a nice save. They let these guys fucking walk in. Their defense was their weakness. I'm actually not really putting it on. Look, none of their line. They just don't have the fucking scoring to match the Tampa Bay Lightning. They don't. They can match the scoring of the Canes and whoever else. They don't have the touch to match the Lightning, and they don't have the scoring ability to get it past Vasilevsky. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if anyone in the NHL does this year and in this bubble playoffs because they're on a fucking roll. And that's what the Bruins ran into. They ran into a Mack truck. But if you want to pin it, if you want to say what was the biggest weakness, what was the biggest one, I'm going defense before I'm going second line scoring or front or Krejci line not showing up. I'm going defense first because, frankly, the whole team didn't show up for a couple games. But when they did show up, the defense were the ones that let them down. That's how I would describe it. But bottom line, I'm not really that – they're just not as fucking good. And I'm glad they went out shooting. I'm glad they went out blasting the last fucking guns because we might not see this core again. We might not see it ever again.
And just let the record show, I was the only one that picked Tampa Bay, so you guys can both suck my fucking balls.
You picked Tampa in 7. It was a gentleman's fucking sweep.
Don't matter.
So you gave
them the win.
I put them in 6. Totem pole had them at 5 just to be an asshole.
I was kind of right too, Bill. We're both right.
But Bill, let me ask you this. So I had these couple things. I don't want to lament too much on the Bruins because they're done. Listeners, we're going to do a post-Bruins show here in the next week or two to kind of. But in terms of who we're blaming it on, I had Cassidy, Sweeney, Tuukka. I'm just going to put my show notes on the table here and see what you guys think. So on Cassidy, I had Studnicka and Clifton being benched at all in this series was a mistake. Studnicka looked fast. He looked quick last night. Nick Ritchie, we all know, was an absolute fucking disaster, and that's who Studnicka basically was benched for. Losing Corrali was probably a big hurt. I still don't know. They're probably not winning the series. And then Connor Clifton, I think, is a future bottom 6 defenseman in the Bruins system moving forward. He needs to play. I don't know why the fuck you sat him. And Sweeney. So let me start here, Bill. On Sweeney, would you rather have Danton Heinen or Nick Ritchie?
Oh, God. Danton Heinen really sucked balls this year, but at least he could score a little bit more than Nick Ritchie.
Danton Heinen literally cost you 3 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Literally, verbatim, to the point, cost you 3 goals on bad penalties and power play goals from the Lightning.
I actually liked Danton Heinen more last year last year with Johansson and Charlie Coyle. So, but you saw a major drop off in him this year. I don't mind him trying to make a move to try to get someone a little more toughness against a very skilled team in Tampa, but he can't match the speed. That's a fast team. You saw it with Chara too. He can't match the speed. He's a fucking walking stiff out there and the skating stiff, whatever.
We said this after game 2, right? We said, look, you gave the Nick Ritchie thing a try, and if he starts in game 3, that's a mistake because you clearly see it doesn't work, and he started him in game 3 and they lost again.
I don't mind.
7-1.
I don't mind not starting Studnicka. I don't think he's looked very good until last night. I thought he had very fresh legs, but I don't think he's been good in the playoffs. He got benched in the Carolina series. I don't mind Clifton. I think is a bottom 6 guy, maybe the 7th defenseman on this team moving forward. But he's probably taking over for Charlie Coyle in that role there. You're going to move Grzelcyk up to the Brandon Carlo line, but yeah, you're probably seeing him start next year, but. You got really good.
Yeah, maybe a bottom 6.
You got good defensive depth in the minors.
You got young defensive depth, and we'll get into that maybe on a different show in terms of what they can look forward to. Let me get to the heart of the matter on this one, Bill. How much you put on Tuukka?
Initial thought I put a lot on it, but I think even with Tuukka in this series, you're still not winning. I still don't think you had enough scoring, and your defensive lapses, as you guys just alluded to, are still bigger than what you had at goalie. Obviously, you're looking at the Vezina Trophy this year for Tuukka, but I don't think he's going to make that big of a difference. Maybe you pulled it to 6 games. You're probably not going to lose 7-1 in game 3, right? So I mean,
you could give him. Look, if you're being generous, you could give him game 2 in overtime. Halak let up a bad goal there. You could give him last night's. Halak gave up a bad goal there. Plus, just the confidence that a goaltender like that gives
4,
your
Rich,
team. But
too.
I look. Bottom line to me. Sorry, Bill. Bottom line to me, you're not beating this team.
No,
I was Bruins in 7. You were Lightning in 7. I think Ray was. What did you say? Sweep, Bruins sweep.
5.
Okay.
That just shows your hockey knowledge, you idiot.
That just showed now. That was producer Big Mac right there. That's producer Big Mac trying to bring some heat. But no, we knew it was going to be tight. We knew it was going to be bad. Tuukka Rask is probably the difference in game, maybe 2.
He could steal you a game.
You could say he could steal you a game. He could steal you a series. Tuukka Rask could fucking steal you a series, Bill. Like I'm going the opposite of you.
Not
Bill.
against this team, though.
I don't know.
Not against this team. You could steal a series if you beat Tampa, or you could steal a series against Philly or the Islanders. Sorry, but I don't know. This team is just so. I think they're on a mission from last year. They bowed out last year. They were ramping up. They started slow to start the season, and then you saw it late. They were one of the hottest teams entering the break. They were making a very big push to catch the Bruins. They weren't going to do it because they built themselves in a really big hole, but they were a very good team, and you saw it from the All-Star break on. You saw the talent level. I mean, like I said, you mentioned all these guys. You didn't even mention Tyler Johnson, who's one of their most underrated players on that team, right? So, I mean, if you want to blame anyone, I guess you could start. I think Sweeney is probably the most to blame, and this is kind of going back 5 years ago now to 2015, where you just whiffed on 3 straight first-round draft picks, and then you look in that same draft. I think Braden Point came in the 3rd round in that draft. I think Victor Hedman was a 2nd or 3rd round pick. The way even Vasilevsky was a later round pick. He wasn't a first-round pick. So you're looking at all the picks that Steve Yzerman made with Tampa Bay, and then you look at Don Sweeney. I get it. It was his first draft. He had Gretzky's brother there. I think he had left that draft too. I forget his first name, but he was a draft guy for the Bruins, and he kind of took off. I forget where he went, Edmonton maybe or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and normally I would not want to take an immediate loss like this and dive back as that far. But to my bigger point that it's been making, the Tampa Bay Lightning are just better than you.
Yeah, they've
top to bottom, and some of those draft picks that you could have had went to them, and some of the draft picks that you could have made, even if it was 1 or 2, would have made a difference. But I've moved a little bit opposite way on you and Tuukka, just because of the way we've seen Tampa respond in some of the series that they've been in over the years. And if Tuukka started stealing you some goals the way Vasilevsky did, you saw how tight the Bruins got after that, and that's how that happens in hockey. And you could definitely see that happening in Tampa Bay too. I'm not. But point is here, I don't know if they win. I think it's certainly tighter. It's a game 6, maybe even a game 7 situation with Tuukka, and in that situation in the NHL playoffs, anything can happen. So I'm not letting Tuukka Rask off the hook on this one. Tuukka Rask fucked the Bruins. And to my next point, which I sent you guys, I kind of wanted to touch on maybe some quick hitters here. COVID fucked the Bruins. COVID absolutely destroyed the Bruins. It's not an excuse because everyone had to deal with it, but if not for the Flyers, the Bruins were the hottest team in the NHL going into the break, and they handled that round robin the way that they did, and we gave them credit for it against the Canes. And I don't know if I want to give them credit for it now because you lost in the 2nd round against the Lightning when you had a chance to avoid them.
You still would have. I think you still would have faced them, even in the conference finals. I get it would have been the conference finals, but you still would have had to go through them. With Washington bowing out in the 1st round, you still would have had to go through them at some point, right?
I'd rather go through them. But my point, Bill, is I'd rather go from the conference finals than because you never know what can happen. First of all, and second of all, we're fans, so I'd rather watch 2 more weeks of hockey. Then now the season is over.
I don't disagree.
And you are depressed wearing the worst Boston Celtics jersey that's ever been created.
Can
just
you put
to feel
some
better.
Respect on his fucking name right now?
It's not about Tatum, you assholes, you dumbasses. We'll get to the Celtics. All right, quick hitters. Hockey guy Ray, how much do you blame on COVID and the round robin decisions? How much do you blame on that?
100%. because you don't take the round robin like a preseason. You should have taken it serious. You should have tried to get that number 1 seed. So, like you said, we could have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals to take on Tampa instead of playing them in the second round and bowing out. So they should have handled the whole round robin differently.
Now, I'll say this. There's no guarantee they would win one of those games, but they only had to win 1 or maybe 2 to get the tiebreaker and get the first seed. And I think they could have done that. We saw in the first game, they basically just showed up. The last 2, they were competitive, and I don't think they put their full effort forward. Will that haunt them? I doubt it. I think that they're at peace with that decision. They figured, to your point, Bill, they're going to have to go through everybody anyway. Might as well go through them when we get to them. So
remember, they're the old team too, so it's like I know we shit on them for a while, and you guys are still shit on them.
Are they though? Are they that old? I've been going over this.
Seventh oldest team in the league. 7th oldest team in the league right now.
They got good young talent. We'll get to that. I want to touch on our keys to the playoffs, and this was kind of off the top of my head. But I said, Bill, this was not your key to the playoff, but you were the first one to really jump on this Tuukka Halak thing and how much Tuukka was going to derail them, where I think we all had a little bit more faith in Halak. Ray, you had Chara being a big issue, big problem going into this, and the defense clearly was fucking exposed. And I had David Pastrnak need to step up and be a superstar, and he didn't. So, hey, listeners, good for you. You listen to the number 1 sports show in New England right now because we were all basically fucking right. Because Pasta did not step up. He did not deliver you a game. He was just a part of the team, if not less than that. Tuukka, like we just talked about, cost you 1, if not 2 games. And the defense was absolutely fucking exposed. And Chara barely played last game. So
yeah, they benched him for long stretches. I think at the start of the third, he missed like 6 shifts in a row in on even ice time. So they were trying to bury him. This is not a team, the matchup. You kind of saw it last year against St. Louis. St. Louis beat the Bruins up, but they still had speed in the front.
This wasn't a beat up game though. But any points on that? Any points on Pasta, Bill? Are you on board with me?
Nope.
No,
I'm not gonna get. I thought he was good. I mean, yeah, he missed some nets for sure, but he did put up a lot of points. He had a lot.
You guys texted me on that fucking Indian Ocean goal, and I could have made that goal. So now we're dropping the level of of appreciation for Pasta on a beautiful play by Krejci to deliver a goal in the 17,000 square foot wide open net. And what else did he do?
Nothing.
He said, he had 14 points in 8 games or something that he played.
I mean, throw the stats all you want. Throw the stats at me all you
still
want.
Over a point
Watch
per
the
game.
eye test, baby. Watch the eye test. He sucks at competing.
If he's not scoring goals, he was still setting up goals.
That's all he can do is score goals. Bill, he doesn't suck at everything else, but he's not a superstar at everything else.
48 goals, 47
and
assists.
You and I agreed.
Is he a budding superstar?
Bill, he's on the best power play in the league, and he sits in Ovechkin's circle and slam shots. He can shoot. That's it. Let's be honest who David Pastrnak is. He sucks with the puck on his blade. He sucks as a forward.
Assists.
He sucks in the defensive end. He sucks in the fucking neutral zone. He cannot pass. He cannot do anything else except for shoot. David Pastrnak is worth what he's getting. You're having him on a good deal, so I'm okay with that. But let's just lower the fucking bar for David Pastrnak, Boston Bruins fan. He's a good shooter. That's it. Put him on your power play. Don't rely on him for anything else. You better drop these fucking expectations for David Pastrnak, or you will continually be fucking disappointed. Who do you think this guy is? Who do you think he is?
48 goals.
He's playing with Marchand and Bergeron.
He's 24. He's 24 years old.
He's 26.
He's 24.
Either way, the fucking kid that they put on the wing with him yesterday looked like an all-star.
Kashik?
No, Ludman.
Fuck him.
He was one of the best players on the ice last night, Bill. He was in every fucking play because you're playing with David, you're playing with Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron, 2 of the best forwards in the league.
You're not going to sway me on this.
Fine. I already swayed you. Replay the tape.
Scorer.
I had you fucking last game. Totem pole?
You did. Sunday, you were starting to go on Mitch's
I don't
side.
even remember Sunday. Suck my dick.
Pure scorer. That's nothing else. Quickly here before we have to move on. Do they, quote unquote, blow it up? And by that, do they trade Krejci? Do they trade Tuukka? Do they let Krug go? Is this Chara's last year? Does this team have a different core next year?
No to Krejci. Yes to Tuukka. Krug, try to keep him at all costs, and hopefully this was Char's last game.
So this is what you think. This is what you want to happen, or is this what you think is going to happen?
This is what I want to happen.
Yeah, Bill.
Krug's gone. DeBrus's gone. Char should be gone. I don't think you're going to get value trading Tuukka. You're probably going to try to expansion him. But if you can bring him back next
2021.
Whatever. You're still going to bring him back. He's still your starting goalie next year. No one's going to trade for that $8 million salary. You want to bet on it? You guys want to bet on it?
They could dump it.
You're going to still eat it. You're paying David Backes' corpse for another $1.5 million next year that you just traded a first-round pick to get rid of him. So how much more money you want to put? How much more dead money you want to put on the cap?
I could see them trading Tuukka. He's going to be a Vezina fucking trophy winner.
I think the best course of action is that he retires, which is I'm hoping the rumors could be true. But you're not going to start Halak next year. Vlader is not even close. You do have depth in the minors, but it's all guys that you just signed. You just signed a guy out of Maine who was, I want to say, the Hobie Baker Award winner. I think that's the top goalie in college. I forget exactly. I'm probably butchering that, but you just kind of locked him up to an entry-level deal. So, I mean, you do have some depth, but those guys are they're a couple years away.
It won't go there, though, Bill. They'll go free agency.
What about Henrik Lundqvist? Henry Lundqvist for 1 year.
No.
He's 38.
He didn't. Nope.
For a bridge year. No.
Nope. Goodbye.
I don't want to get into hypotheticals of what that could happen, but we all agree that it would be the best if Tuukka could leave because I think that his time has run out here. I think we all agree that they're not going to sign Krug because the price tag's probably going to be too high.
$8.5, $9 million he'll get.
I would not even pay him that. I don't even think it's worth. I don't think he's worth that.
I've said it on this show a couple times. On the Bruins, he's a top 4 defenseman, but I think on pure defensive skills, he's a bottom 6 guy, or he's a third pairing on normal teams. But he's the skill on the power play. He's your second leading defenseman for point scorer outside of Erik Karlsson in the last 5 or 6 years. So I mean,
and that's all well and good, but that's not what the Bruins need right now. And I'm not paying that guy that size that does one thing, $9 million on a hard cap.
I wouldn't either. And the cap's going down next year, too.
Good for Krug, so they'll let him go. So bottom line is they're going to have some space. They're going to have some decisions to make. It sounds like all of these core guys were pretty fucking upset. Marchand was upset. Krejci was upset. Yep. Chara sounds like he's on the verge of retirement. We got to see what happens, but we're running late in the Bruins. We will do a post-season Bruins exit show here in the next weeks or so, and we'll continue to identify some moves that they can make in the offseason as we go on. But let's get a little more cheery. Your Boston Celtics, people, are looking like a NBA Finals kind of team. And this is the type of game, men, that I was looking for out of my boy, Jason Tatum. That I've been saying forever. And out of this Boston Celtics team in general. Quick recap. Look, Robert Williams, your boy, Bill, looked pretty good in the first quarter. Still couldn't play defense, but had an impact, had a very big impact. They rode Jaylen Brown in the first period. Looks like Jaylen's the guy that comes out of the gate on, ready to go. And they've kind of established that he can really come into the game and get rolling, and it takes the other guys a little bit to get moving. I'm just going to go through my notes that I had down. The end of the first quarter, they ran a pick and roll with Brad Wanamaker and Time Lord. Time Lord hit an 18-foot jumper to fucking end the corner. But Jesus Christ, Jason Tatum was 6 feet away. I mean, is that, these are just the nitpicking things that I can go through throughout the game. But I just thought that was fucking unbelievable. Brad Wanamaker is running a pick and roll with Time Lord to end the fucking quarter. Okay, cool. Second quarter, Tatum took over. I mean, he looked like a budding superstar.
No, a superstar, Rich.
Here's what
respect to his fucking name.
He's not there yet, Bill. I'm going to tell you why. It's the same. I'm not going to go into this. I'm not going to go into this today, but
he's not there yet, though. Okay.
No, he's not. He's actually not. Here's what he's got really good at. When he drives to his right, he can get a defender a half step behind him, and he understands now how the NBA referees call a foul if he puts his shoulder down and collects pressure, and then he throws this shot up. And that shot has no fucking business going in. It's not a real shot. It's a stupid fucking runner. It's not a real shot. It's an NBA foul. And he gets to the line 9 times out of 10 now with that shot. And if he relies on that in the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals against LeBron James, Bill, you will be telling me I am right, and I will be paying you $10 million to suck my dick, because that move is not a NBA superstar move. But what I will tell you is his shot is impeccable. His step back fadeaway is impeccable. He has moves that are undeniable, but he doesn't have Kemba Walker step back. He does not have a Kemba Walker step back.
He had a real great game today.
Kemba Walker didn't have a step back today either.
Oh, except for when it fucking counted.
One shot.
Except for when it fucking counted,
Under
boys.
2 minutes, yeah.
That's a superstar in my book. That's a superstar in my book. When you suck the entire game and you need a bucket and you put a step back and you bury the fucking game and you ice it, that's it, because Tatum had that chance and he turned the fucking ball over dribbling. So keep watching, boys. Keep watching. Keep telling me. Keep telling me all you want.
Stop
keep telling me
being
what
a
you
fucking
want. I don't
hater.
want.
He's your best player.
No, Kemba Walker is your best offensive player. Kemba Walker is is hands down your best offensive player. Jason Tatum might be your best player all around, because his defensive play in the third quarter with the steal after a bad turnover by him and a bad miss by him, his defensive play to get in the passing lanes is undeniable. But Kemba Walker is your best offensive player.
Who's better, Donovan Mitchell or Jason Tatum?
Right now, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is
You know
the
what
best
he's
player in
doing
the league right now.
2 points, 15 minutes, 3 fouls at the break.
Okay, cool. Okay, well, they're in fucking game 7 against a team that's no better than them. But you're wrong in this. It's fine. In the fourth quarter, look, the third quarter, like you said. Yes, you are. In the third quarter, the Celtics pissed their shit away, because this is what the Celtics do. They went on an offensive drought, and your boy Jason Tatum couldn't get him out of it, and nobody could get him out of it. They couldn't score, so they went down 12. They fought their way back through defense and through rebounding, not through offense, because their offense went stale, and they have nobody on their team that can get them out of it. Their fucking bench sucks. And in the fourth quarter, the guy that came through was it number 0? No, it wasn't. Who was it, Totem Pole?
Number 8, Kemba Walker.
No, it wasn't.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus goddamn Smart.
Oh, Marcus
Goddamn Smart. 4 gigantic three-pointers. 4. 6, 5.
5 in the fourth quarter.
Well, he had 6 altogether. 6 for
But
11.
He was 1 for 7 until the fourth quarter. Then
He hit the first one, and it was a step back, and I went, fuck you, don't shoot that. Okay, fine. He hit the second one, it was a step back, and he fell down trying to get a foul, and I went, God, fuck you, Marcus, and then he hit it. And then he hit the third one, which wasn't in one, and I went, okay, keep shooting because you're on. And then he hit the fourth one, which was 82-82, and he buried it.
Which was like 4 feet behind the line too, with a man in his face. I fucking hate when he takes that shot. I hate it.
Not when he just hit 3 in a row with guys in his face.
I still don't want him to shoot that, but I'm glad he made it. I still hate that shot. I still hate him shooting threes. I'll never like it. I don't give a shit if he's a fucking 80% 3-point shooter.
This is where again, Bill. I'm going to take your lead in the hockey here, but you have to listen to me. You have to listen to me. They gave Jason Tatum the ball, and he turned it over. And he looked to pass. He did not have he didn't have that killer instincts in the fourth quarter. So you have a team of 4 guys that can go get you 25 points whenever they want to. So you have to identify who that guy is in the fourth quarter and give him the fucking ball and get out of the way. Tonight, it wasn't Jason Tatum. He scored 34 throughout the game. You need that. You need him to be your lead scorer, be your offensive lead productor. But in the fourth quarter, you need to identify who that fucking dude is. It wasn't Jaylen Brown, who's my guy. It wasn't Jason Tatum. He passed the ball. He turned it over. It was Marcus fucking Smart. And on one play, it was Kemba Walker, where the play broke down, and you went, I got it. And he fucking patent step back, UConned his ass, and they took the lead and didn't let go. This is the Celtics team, Bill. This is what I'm telling you. Jason Tatum is not quite a superstar, because you have a Celtics team that can do everything depending on who has the ball. And tonight it was Marcus Smart that made the difference. Tonight it was Marcus Smart. Your captain. You said it yourself, Bill. Give this dude the captain. I'm for it. I was tentative on diving this far into Marcus Smart, but I'm here, man. These are big games. The Toronto Raptors are no joke. They came to play. Toronto Raptors came to play. So I've been babbling on a very loose recap of what this game was. The last point I'll make on this is They made winning plays at the end, and Toronto didn't. And Siakam's a fucking bum. Grant Williams was shutting Siakam down. Grant fucking Williams was shutting Siakam down. Siakam's a fucking bum. So I got Celtics in 5. Anything else? What's standing out to you?
How's Van Fleet looked?
He had one big 3.
I wish someone would talk to us about this before the series, because that Fred Van Vliet, damn, he could shoot. He can shoot. But what stood out to me, the best player on the court was Marcus Smart, obviously, that we just talked about, and Time Lord. If that guy can play defense, Time Lord, man, he has not missed a shot in this series.
Yeah, he was 10 for 10.
He's 10 for 10 right now. If he could play defense, he could be.
He's getting better. What do you have? 2 blocks.
He had a really nice block on my boy Siakam.
Yeah.
He denied his ass.
What do you have? He had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds early in the first quarter too, which is kind of. He had 10 points in the first quarter, which was the reason they were leading at the end of the first, and then he hurts his back, comes back. He didn't look right when he came back. You saw him kind of laboring up the court a little bit, but
that was a nice you could see it coming. The putback that he had, he landed right on his tailbone.
Yeah.
It might be this guy that can't stay healthy, type of guy that can't stay healthy.
That's a fluke though. When you slam off the court like that, I mean, you could kind of see that to anybody. That could happen.
It's kind of a fluke, like Gordon Glass, kind of getting injured every 2 months. I'm a little bit on board with Ray here and Gordon Glass.
Oh, welcome aboard.
And Robert Williams might be falling into that category. They're just these type of guys that just continue to get hurt no matter what. I mean, Kemba Walker falls on the ground every time he goes to the fucking hoop. He doesn't get hurt.
Speaking of that,
Tom Brady knows how to fall. Maybe you should teach Robert Williams.
I think Kemba Walker is hurt. He did hurt his knee on the last game in game 1, and he didn't look right today.
He couldn't shoot. He was driving. He couldn't shoot.
No, but if you watch his defense on the help defense, every time they switched on a pick and roll, he was always late going to the offensive guy. If you watch the back, he was always late. He looked like he was a step behind everything. So I think that knee is actually bothering him a little more than they're letting it out.
Let him gut through it. It's the playoffs. I'll give up the next 5 seasons with him injured as long as they win the ship this year.
We all agree that. We all agree that. Yeah, we all agree that.
I totally agree with it. Here's what'll help that: 3-0. 3-0 will help Kemba.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Go win, go sweep, go gentleman sweep, go take another week off, because they had over a week off between round 1 and 2. And look, Kemba looked real good first game. And I know he didn't shoot that well today, but dude, I fucking love Kemba Walker.
Oh, I love
I think he's a gutty fucking player. And don't get it wrong, listeners. I love Jason Tatum too. I'm just trying to.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
I am just trying to squish your expectations a little bit so you don't fall into the David Pasternak fucking
22-year-old superstar.
Net and
basket. That's cool.
He wasn't your best player.
14 for 14 from the line.
Marcus Smart was your best player tonight.
Marcus Smart won you the game. Therefore, he is your best player. Fourth quarter, the NBA matters. The rest of it, good. Jason Tatum, go score me 47 in quarters 1 through 3, and then give me someone who knows how to operate in the fourth quarter in the NBA. That's it. And that doesn't even have to be him. It could be. I'm not saying it can't. I'm saying it wasn't today, and I haven't seen it very often in Jason Tatum's career.
I just love how you're the only one in the fucking country that doesn't think Tatum's a superstar. So that's good. It's good. Your opinion really matters on this point, because you're the only one that's fucking
right.
Oh, yeah. No, you're not. You're fucking wrong.
I am. To end the Celtics talk, here's what beyond the minutia of our bullshit, I do think Jason Tatum is an excellent player, probably your best overall player. Kemba Walker showed up big when he needed to. Jaylen Brown did what he needed to do. Marcus Smart was your best player. The Boston Celtics responded in a game 2 where you knew that the defending champions were going to come out strong and try to deliver a blow, and they withstood it, went down 12 late, came back, and made big shots and big stops when they needed to. That is a development in Boston Celtics basketball that we needed to see on all planes. Brad Stevens, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, all of the whole damn thing was tonight. As we record tonight on Tuesday, this was a really, really terrific game and good step for the Boston Celtics. And you're up 2-0 on the Toronto Raptors, looking the Eastern Conference Finals in the face.
Yep.
Toronto in 7.
Okay. MLB trade deadline fallout. When it comes to the Red Sox, here's the big names that move. Pilar, Mitch Moreland, Brendan Workman. Those are the biggest names, if you even recognize them. Those are the biggest names that moved. They had a couple other moves. Osich, Hembry was in the Workman deal. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I think from the experts, the best return they got was actually out of the Pilar deal. Looks like they got that gigantic fucking infielder that they can rake. And they got an outfielder that can play some defense, that can replace JBJ, who is still on the team, which is more important to me. Who are the guys still on the team? JD Martinez, Jackie Bradley Jr., Matt Barnes, Vasquez, Benintendi, that stupid son of a bitch, Brazier, who belongs in Europe somewhere throwing.
He's been pitching really well lately, so.
Good for fucking him. Good for him. Why don't you throw up that rebel flag right on the side of your ball cap there, Brazier, and throw some strikes, you cockeyed piece of shit. Get that guy the fuck off my team. And it's not even the Jackie Bradley Jr. thing is bad. Like, it's a bad look. Like, why do you pick now to be an asshole? But also, you sucked for 2 years. Let's move beyond that. What does the lack of movement at the trade deadline say about Hyman Bloom and the Boston Red Sox?
The asking price was sky high on Vasquez, that's for sure. I mean, the reports that were coming out, I mean, he was linked to Tampa, I think early Saturday, right? I think I texted you guys Saturday that he was linked, but then
I heard the Mets too.
The Mets, and then there was rumors Padres, who were going all in on pretty much this short season. I mean, they've been playing really good, but asking price
go all in on them, and they did.
Oh yeah, with Clevenger, they got Clevenger, which is huge.
And I mean, hold on,
Moreland.
So that was a 9-player deal for the Padres, but they all I didn't. Oh shit, sorry, I thought I wrote them down. The Padres made half a dozen deals.
Yeah,
yep.
Half
they're
a
going
dozen.
for it. They're the most exciting team in baseball this year with Tatis Jr. right now. I mean, so I mean, again, I've mentioned it before in the show. You're looking at all these teams that are buyers because there's 16 teams that make the playoffs, and these teams are going for it. Even Miami Marlins made a move, right? Because they're trying to squeak into the playoffs. So, I mean, you're kind of see it. Though they got Marte from Arizona.
Yeah, they got Sterling Marte from
So, I mean, that's a good move for them. So, you're seeing all these teams going in, and that's why the Red Sox asking price was high. I don't think they ever really wanted to trade Vasquez. I think Vasquez is still your future of your catcher position outside of Wong, who you just got in the Mookie Betts deal. But, I mean, he's still signed for – yeah, he's still signed next year, and I think he's got a player option after that around $7 million. So, I mean, the guy can break. He's shown it. He's 260 this year. He's 270.
I don't care about Vasquez. So. I don't honestly care about Vasquez. Jackie Bradley Jr. should not be on your team.
No, I don't disagree.
Jackie Bradley Jr. should not be on your team. Brazier should not be on the team. Matt Barnes should not be on your team. I can see Benintendi because you're selling low right now on a high-end player.
And he's really cheap next year, too, $5 million. And because he bought out a few arbitration years. So
a really cheap, really good player gets you really good prospects. So I can understand.
He was not one of them.
No, he's not really good. That's what he's missing. But he was really good at one point in time. So even if he could be serviceable, I can understand waiting till the offseason to trade him because you don't need him because now you have what's the fucking Jesus Christ guy's name they got from Mookie
Verdugo.
I almost said
got
Verdugo.
3 hits tonight too against the Braves.
He's raking.
He's
raking. Here's my point. Totem pole. The Diamondbacks, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who we at one point in time thought might be buyers, were big time sellers. They sent Robbie Ray to the Blue Jays. They sent Archie Bradley to the Reds, Sterling Marte to Miami. So you got a starter, you got a reliever, and you got a decent outfielder. Were there no players in that pool from the Boston Red Sox to get into a fucking trade war with these guys?
Robbie Ray's a free agent next year, so a team like the Red Sox are rebuilding. You're not going to trade for Robbie Ray.
I don't want Robbie Ray. I want you to replace Robbie Ray with somebody else on the Red Sox. Why the fuck is Martin Perez still on the Red Sox? Why is JBJ on the Red Sox?
Because the last 2 games you looked terrible. He was pitching his way into getting traded.
Bill, you're not getting my point. Bill, you're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. I don't give a fuck what they. I don't care. I honestly don't care what you get from Martin Perez. Just get him off the team. He's not a future. He's not a future piece. JBJ is going to goddamn free agency. Is Sterling Marte that better of a player than JBJ?
Oh,
he's a better hitter.
He's a better player in general. Outside, I mean, obviously, you're looking at a Gold Glove center fielder, but Marte's a better player. I would have taken Marte over JBJ all day.
For what? What did they trade for him?
I don't even know. I didn't see.
You're missing the point, Bill. You want to focus on the details just to be an asshole. My point is, could the Red Sox have not been? Why were the Red Sox made 3 fucking minor trades in a year where they are the worst they've been in going on 100 years? Could they not have just been a fucking wholesaler and just got rid of everybody for something? Because at the bottom line, when you're bringing in minor leaguers in baseball, it's just a fucking crapshoot. You kind of don't know who's going to work out unless they're absolute studs that have already kind of proved themselves, and you're just waiting for the MLB time to come up. I think that the lack of movement by Hyman Bloom here, when this has been a monumental trade deadline because of the of what the season looks like, it's inexcusable to me. There's no reason for some of these players to still be on the Boston Red Sox, right? Do you have a thought on this?
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, I don't understand why they just didn't sell. If you're going to be going rebuilding, obviously you have to, since, like you said, they're the worst they have been in 100 years. Why aren't you selling whatever you could get for anyone? Even if
you're not just going to give guys away.
But even if you're getting like single A guys, at least build that farm system back up. That farm system got depleted by Dombrowski, so why don't you just start building that back up? Even if you're getting people, just start filling it in.
Jackie Bradley Jr. is leaving for nothing this year. He's going to free agency. He's leaving for nothing.
And he's not coming back.
Maybe they tried to
Bill.
trade him. How do you know? You're not going to give him away for some fucking low-level A prospect.
Instead of what?
Shit. Let him go for nothing. It's basically
why.
It's basically what you're going to fucking turn. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to fight with you over this.
I want to hear your honest
just let
answer.
him go. Like, I understand sell everybody. I get it. I wanted him to sell everybody too. But if there's not a deal there, then why force a deal if there's not one to be made?
Well, Bill, first of all,
and you're yelling at me when I told just sell everybody and cut all the payroll you can, but now you're bitching when they don't sell everybody and cut all the payroll.
First of all,
isn't this why they brought Hyman Bloom in?
That's a ridiculous statement. Payroll is dumb. I'm talking about getting return for something that has no more value, which is Jackie Bradley Jr.
He's going to be on this team next year. Mark it down.
Well, then that's a mistake. I
agree, but he's going to be on this team next year.
Okay, well, if that's your point, then that's your point. But if their point is to just let him walk and not get anything from it, then you're talking out of your ass. And you know you are, just to talk. So you can agree on that. We can all agree on that. Thank you. Other than that, besides that, Matt Barnes doesn't have a market. Of course, Matt Barnes has a fucking market. Of course he does.
Market.
Go get a couple single A fucking arms and see if they work into something. Matt Barnes is not going to be on this team next year. Jackie Bradley Jr. should not be on this team. If they sign him, if they sign Jackie Bradley Jr. to a $15 million a year extent, what is the fucking fascination with Jackie Bradley Jr.? My God, people. There is this little rumor floating around through Red Sox Twitter and through Red Sox everything else that because Jackie Bradley Jr. is the only black player on the Red Sox, this is why he's still on the Red Sox and this is why he'll be re-signed. And if that's the case, fuck the Red Sox. I'm a fucking Nationals fan. If that's the case, and if we get hard evidence of that, I'm out. I'm fucking out. And
which team should we pick?
That's ridiculous. And that's not a white guy going, we shouldn't have black people. That's going, you are making decisions based on your PR versus on race on your ball club, you fucking idiots. Are you
surprised?
No, I'm not. I'm infuriated though. This is your point, Bill. This is your point. You buy the Boston Globe to take the narrative and control the narrative. And if this is true, if Jackie Bradley Jr. is still on your team, because if you traded him, there would be no black players on your team, then fuck you, John Henry, and fuck the Boston Red Sox. Honestly, the entire team is fucking this is not a hashtag dead to me. They're honestly fucking dead to me. I'm out. So somebody go do some hard reporting and find that out, because that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I'll start emailing after the show.
That's ridiculous. That honestly fucking makes me mad. That's ridiculous. That's racism to some other kind of weird fucking weird dichotomy level that you're like not even treat. Go give Jackie Bradley a chance to win another fucking another ALCS MVP and World Series or NLCS MVP. He's a decent player. He's not a great player, but somebody will use him. Somebody could use a defensive center fielder to plug in going into the playoffs that might be able to catch fire. He has a ton of value. He has good value. There's no way you couldn't trade Jackie Bradley Jr. Come on. So I tried to avoid that little racial piece coming out of the Red Sox camp because we shit on them so bad last time we did a Red Sox talk.
10-2 Braves.
Go Sox. Last piece, Patriots news and notes. Leonard Fournette, yes?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Ray, you're a no.
Why? No. Why take him?
Why
He's
not?
a problem. Because he was a problem in Jacksonville. Why take him here? And we
Corey
already have
Dillon.
better coaching, better leadership.
Corey Dillon.
don't have
Larry-
five
Blunt.
running backs here already. Why?
Don't matter.
Corey-
Lamar Miller's got one leg.
Cut Lamar
Fucking
Miller in a second. Corey
Sony
Dillon,
Michel's
Lamar.
got one leg. Come on.
You think
fuck
that guy's
off.
smart enough to fucking learn this playbook? And
What playbook? It's
What
Cam
playbook?
Newton's playbook.
Hand him the fucking ball and let him run up the middle. You still got one of the top offensive lines in
No
football.
fucking way. No, thank you.
Leonard Fournette's the most easiest fucking yes in the world. He's a running back. He's a running back. Hit the hole. Hit the hole. That's all you do. He's LeGarrette Blount all over again with better hands.
He'll be in Chicago. You heard it here first.
Good for him. And if he signs for anything over $1 million, I will be mad at Bill for not putting some money on him. He has $30 million in cap space. You still have Snacks, Clowney, Fournette's out there. Do you guys see Belichick making a big splash at one of those guys, or what's he waiting for quickly on the Patriots? What is this like little? It's like this little last cluster of big names out there on the free agency with 2 weeks left in the season. Does Bill go get one?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he will, but the only one I would want him to go get is Clowney.
Snacks. Because the guy Bo Allen that you brought in from Tampa hasn't practiced once. You have a huge hole after letting kind of Danny Shelton walk. You were supposed to replace him with Allen. He hasn't played. You could go and get Snacks again. He's a 34-year-old nose tackle. He kind of was not great in Detroit last year. You're kind of seeing why he's still on the market. You might pick him up I would think their best bet would be just waiting in for the final cuts to happen. I think you might see a couple big names fall through. I think that's where Belichick's going to do most of his work. You see it every single year after he sets his roster, all these guys that get cut. He kind of tinkers with that before week one. I think you're going to see that more so than spending the money on Clowney, because if the rumors are true, I think he's going to end up in Baltimore. I think there's a lot of talk that he'll go to Baltimore. They just lost out on that Jacksonville guy, Njoku, whatever.
Yeah, he went to Minnesota.
He went to Minnesota. So, I mean, you're kind of seeing maybe Clowney go there, pair him up with Calais Campbell, who they just picked up from Jacksonville there too. So I think that's where you're going to see Belichick's not going to spend the money on that. You're going to see a lot of the guys that are going to get cut. You probably won't even see a big name come. You'll probably see fucking just roster depth. I think Snacks would be roster depth, but I don't think he's probably not in shape. There's a reason they call him Snacks, because he's fat as fuck and he hasn't been playing football at all. I don't think you're going to sign him before week one and expect any meaningful plays out of him. At least the first month, he has no training camp.
Well, these are the guys for all those reasons you just pointed out, Bill, are not on the top of Belichick's list to bring in because of behavior issues. I think Clowney's at the bottom of that list, Ray. I think Fournette is at the top of the list because of the position. I don't think he gives a fuck. I think if he can get Fournette for cheap, and by cheap I mean minimum, because I think that's what Fournette's going to sign for, then he would do that in a second because he's a fucking running back. And you just put a running back in, and you need a yard. Who's going to get it? Sony Michel? We know that's not going to happen.
No,
Rex Burkhead? He's going to break an ankle. Who's going to get the yard? Who's going to get the yard? Cam? Sure. He's your best option right now. So Leonard Fournette for minimum dollars, who's an asshole? Yeah, fine. Bring me the asshole. Jadeveon Clowney, if he's not signing for minimum, he's not coming to the New England Patriots.
No, and
Snacks will sign for minimum if he plays, and he might come to the Patriots, but to your point, Bill, if he's out of shape, he's not coming. So I think you're right, and this is the time of year that Bill Belichick waits and waits and waits and waits and waits and waits until nobody has picked up the scraps, and then goes getting people for no money and no risk, and then sees if it works. So we'll see if one of these big names is on that list of people.
And I just got one quick point too, and don't put it past Bill. You can roll over all unused cap space. They have $30 million. I wouldn't be surprised with the cap going down next year, where you get an extra $30 million that you're rolling over. I think that's a ploy by Bill too. So I don't think he's going to spend a lot. You're going to eat up a little bit more of that cap space with Hightower coming back and the guys that opted out. So that's a lot of that cap space is taken up for those guys next year because all those contracts rolled over. I think Hightower was in his last year of his deal. So now you're getting him for one more year. I don't know if he'll be back next year, but you're just kind of building in that cap space already, which you're not hurting next year's cap, right? So
it's a really good point, Bill. No, it's a good point because you got Hightower at 8 or 9 and Chung at
8.5 somewhere in there. Chung's
so
in there
yeah,
at 4,
you do have to work in. Yeah, I'm sure that they've looked at how that's all going to roll over, and 30 is probably closer to 10. Call it whatever. However they want to look at it.
You're still going to have $100 million.
We said at the beginning of this season that this free agency is looking at next free agency in terms of spending money, right? So this has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Wednesday headline, September 2nd. Thanks for tuning in.
Wait, so you guys call me Dr. Big Mac because I'm fat?
No, we just said because you like cheeseburger.
No, because you're fat.
Oh. No, yeah, it's because you're fat.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
But you eat, how many Big Macs do you eat a month?
I don't eat a lot of Big Macs.
How many McDonald's do you eat a month?
Not a lot.
How much fast food do you eat a month?
Not a lot.
Then how the fuck are you so fat?
A disease, Bill. It's a disease.
No, it's not. It's obesity.
Genetics.
Obesity.
It's a genetics.
Your dad's not. So if it's a genetics,
I was gonna go
when
somewhere
are you
else.
Diabetes.
Bill,
Genetic fat
Jesus.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad
very
tonight.
mad.
It's been a
Tailspin
long week.
is.
It's been a long week, and I'm done.
It's
I got a long
Tuesday.
fucking week.